Many people know Algeria as an African country in the Maghreb region, but not that many people know that the biggest African nation, size-wise, has an extensive history with French colonization, which certainly shaped current Algeria. For over 100 years, the French occupied Algeria till eventually Algeria fought for its independence. But before the French packed up and left, they had already had a huge influence on Algeria. So what if Algeria was never a colony of France? What would the country look like today? That is what we'll discuss today on Africa Assemble. By the way, be a friend and subscribe, click the notification button to never miss our videos, and like this video to help us make more content you love about our awesome continent. Let's dive in. In 1830, France invaded Algeria and over the years effectively colonizing the region. But everything was not all peaches as the French rule met resistance from the native Algerians throughout the time period. As a result, France exercised more aggressive tactics by poisoning civilians and engaging in mass executions. But again, the natives of Algeria never gave up, especially when they realized they did not have an equal, if not greater status in their own country. Tensions came to a head in 1954 when the Algerian War took place, which ultimately led to Algeria being an independent nation in 1962. First of all, colonization has extreme damaging effects on the colonized nation. Wealth and lives are lost, diseases are imported, cultures are forced on the natives of the land, and eventually when the colonizer departs, the natives have to knit back their society and hope to propel forward. Which is the problem most African countries are still facing today, decades after independence. With that aside, what would Algeria be like without French colonization? Well, for one, the relationship between Algeria and France would be drastically different. The result would vary based on some scenarios. If France invaded but failed to colonize Algeria, then the two countries would have a typical relationship between two spatially closed nations. I mean, Canadians burnt down the American White House in 1814, and they're still friends today. If France never thought of colonizing Algeria, chances are another European nation would have taken its place, and maybe modern-day Algerians would have Spanish or Italian as a second language. But back to the main point, if France had not turned Algeria into a colony, probably over 10 million lives would not have been lost. During the initial invasion, the World War and the Algerian War, lives on both sides were lost. However, Algeria bore the brunt of casualties. Algeria is currently an upper middle income nation. Had colonization not happened, wealth from trade would have stayed in Algeria all those years, attracting scholars and business partners over the years, leading to knowledge sharing and creating a much wealthier nation. Algeria also would not be the second largest francophone country in the world in terms of speakers. Architecture for sure would be different, as there are some French-inspired fortresses which would not exist. Baguettes and omelettes would not be common in Algeria as it is today, and some aspects of the Algerian culture would not be prevalent. As far as the people, colonization produced a lot of French Algerians that migrated to France. The Harki, a group of people who were French auxiliaries during the Algerian War, are regarded as traitors to Algeria, and till this day are not permitted to even go back to Algeria. This has displaced thousands of Algerian descendants, and it is safe to say that without colonization, this group of people would not even exist. During invasion and colonization, some Algerians fled to Morocco and other nearby countries as genocide was a thing of the past. But ultimately, if the French had not moved into Algeria, would Algeria have fought for independence from the Ottoman Empire? That is a question with so many open-ended answers. When looking at comments from modern-day Algerians, it seems that there are those who still hold a grudge from history, those who are open-minded to embrace the relationship with France, and those who simply just do not care. Now we turn the question to you. If you are an Algerian, what is your view on the history of Algeria in relation to France? We would like to seriously thank you all for watching our content and getting us past 150 subscribers in just a month. Let's keep growing, fam. Share this with a friend and drop a comment if you disagree or would like to request a video. Till then, brothers and sisters, Atamanalak Naharana Said.